Hi there! In this video, we will discuss the summary of the 23rd chapter of El Filibusterismo, or The Reign of Greed, written by Dr. Jose Rizal, titled A Corpse. We will also study the important events, characters, settings, and lessons found in this chapter. Listen and watch carefully, as you will learn a lot from this historical work by Rizal. Let's begin. Simon and Basilio did not attend the theater. Around 7 in the evening, Simon left his house twice and returned with different people. At 8 o'clock, Macareg saw him near the convent of Santa Clara as the church bells tolled to announce a death. At 9, Camaroncosito spotted him outside the theater with a student to whom he had given a ticket before disappearing into the darkness. Basilio, meanwhile, stayed home, busy studying and caring for Captain Tiago, whose condition worsened due to his heavy use of opium. Despite being mistreated and insulted by the sick man, Basilio endured everything out of gratitude and love for his fiancée, Julie. Both Simon and Padre Irene encouraged Basilio to continue caring for Captain Tiago. Later that night, Simon visited Basilio at Tiago's house. He inquired about Tiago's condition, and Basilio explained that his health was failing due to the poison spreading through his body. Simon compared Tiago's poisoned state to the Philippines, saying the country was also full of poison and at risk of collapse. Simon again urged Basilio to join the rebellion against the Spaniards, declaring that anyone who didn't help would be treated as an enemy. He also proposed rescuing Maria Clara from the Santa Clara convent during the chaos, but Basilio informed him it was too late. Maria Clara had died earlier that day. Simon refused to accept the news, denying it repeatedly. Basilio explained that he had learned about her death through a letter from Padre Salvi to Padre Irene. Upon hearing of his daughter's death, Captain Tiago had turned even more heavily to opium in his grief. When Simon confirmed Maria Clara's death, he was devastated. He left the room in a state of anger and despair, his cries of anguish audible as he departed. Basilio, deeply affected by the encounter, lost his motivation to continue his studies and reflected on the tragic fates of Simon and Maria Clara, both consumed by broken dreams and unfulfilled hopes. Now, let's move on to the important events in this chapter. Simon avoided the theater, instead meeting with various individuals throughout the evening, including being spotted near Santa Clara and outside the theater, where he gave a ticket to a student before disappearing. Basilio stayed home, caring for the increasingly ill Captain Tiago, who was heavily dependent on opium, enduring mistreatment out of gratitude and love for his fiancée, Julie. Simon visited Basilio at Tiago's house, comparing Tiago's poisoned state to the Philippines, and again urged Basilio to join the rebellion, threatening that neutrality would be treated as enmity. Simon planned to rescue Maria Clara during the rebellion, only to learn from Basilio that she had died earlier that day, confirmed by a letter from Padre Salvi to Padre Irene. Devastated by Maria Clara's death, Simon left in anguish and despair, leaving Basilio deeply affected and reflecting on the tragic fates of Simon and Maria Clara, both victims of broken dreams and unfulfilled hopes. Important characters. Simon, a mysterious, wealthy man deeply invested in the rebellion against the Spaniards. He invites Basilio to join the uprising and is overcome with sorrow and rage upon learning of Maria Clara's death. Basilio, a medical student caring for Captain Tiago. He endures hardship out of gratitude and love for Julie. He declines Simon's invitation to join the rebellion. Captain Tiago, Maria Clara's father, devastated by her death. His worsening addiction to opium symbolizes his descent into despair. Maria Clara. Though absent from the chapter, her death is central to the story, deeply affecting both Simon and Captain Tiago. Padre Irene, a priest advising Basilio to continue caring for Captain Tiago. Macareg, a student who saw Simon near the Santa Clara convent. Camaroncosito, a beggar who spotted Simon outside the theater with a student. Padre Salvi, the priest who sent the letter confirming Maria Clara's death, indirectly causing Tiago's heartbreak. Let us now proceed to the setting of this chapter. The main setting of the chapter is in Captain Tiago's house and various places in Manila where Simon was seen. Here are some of the lessons, messages, or implications shown in this chapter. Having compassion and patience in performing one's duty, even when it is difficult, shows fortitude and respect for gratitude, as Basilio showed in his care for Captain Tiago. Excessive dependence on vices such as opium has a negative effect on health and mind, and can bring disaster not only to oneself but also to those around them. Maria Clara's death is a reminder that dreams and hopes can easily be dashed by unexpected events, and it heralds deep sadness and regret for those left behind. And that concludes the 23rd chapter of El Filibusterismo, A Corpse. What have you learned from this chapter? Share your answers in the comments. We also encourage you to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated with our future videos. Until next time, thank you for watching.